right. So, hello all you beautiful people out there. It has been a minute.
Or two.
Right. So we want to welcome you to the channel. Remember to subscribe. I'm going to ask up front because I always forget and wait till the end. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, all the good stuff. Hello, and how are we? Doing fabulous, we hope. We are out in Arlington, Texas today, riding a couple bikes again from Longhorn Harley Davidson down here. We want to, of course, tell them how much we appreciate them and thank them for this opportunity because we love it. Not a beautiful day, but we're going to do it anyways because that's how it works.
That's how we roll.
That's right. So we're going to take a little journey. So come along with us. We are down here in Arlington, Texas. I'm MrsNutt with me, of course.
Of course. Who else would you have?
Of course. So I am riding today a 2021 Deadwood Green StreetBob with the 114 engine. And he is on a Roadglide Special 2021 with the two-tone paint. Obviously, it's got the 114 as well because it's special. Yeah, MrsNutt's been considering, since we've made all the transitions with the bikes, a Roadglide. So he thought, you know, what's better than to get out here and just see what I think. So that's what he's doing. And I thought I would get on a StreetBob today because in the past, I've talked a lot of shit about a StreetBob. I love that they put the 114 engine in it this year to really make it a bike, if ladies are going to ride it like they do, because of its peg position and low center. As far as like where the seat sits, and because we have a low center of gravity as women, you know, it works for a lot of women, and it's a light bike overall. It's a nice soft tail. It's a good bike for ladies. But I felt like that, you know, the fact they put the big engine in it, or the bigger engine in it, I love that. So well,
it gives you those possibilities for the future.
Right.
You know, the 114 to me just really gives you all the possibilities for power in the future, and is a much better engine. You know, if you're thinking of having the bike for a few years and over time upgrading it and, you know, turning it into your dream bike.
Absolutely, because it's not like a sporty that you know you're going to outgrow. It's definitely something with this kind of engine that you could now definitely grow with your bike and not feel like, okay, I outgrew you in 5 minutes. I love that they put the bigger engine in the StreetBob. So I thought I would give you my perspective because I really have never really done a demo ride of a StreetBob, so I guess I thought it was time, since, you know, in the past I have. And then it's not that the bike was bad, it was just, I feel like they put women on them unfairly, in a sense. Like that was the only bike you could possibly buy, that and a Slim. And I've ridden a Slim, and you know, I see their appeal for ladies, I really do. I just think that there's more fun bikes. To me, my Fat Bob is just one of the most fun bikes that they make, and I just love it. But again, if you love what you ride, more power to you. It's awesome.
From my perspective as a sales trainer and somebody who, you know, worked for years and years in retail automotive, you know, to me it's just really bad form to just lead ladies straight to some bike without, you know, getting an idea of who they are and what their capabilities are. That's always been one of my problems with, you know, them leading women straight to those bikes, is they're really not being fair to them.
Right. You're not giving them the opportunity to ride everything and decide what kind of rider you are, what your confidence level is, what you're going to grow into. You know, I mean, I think people don't want to buy a bike for a year. I mean, they have like the sporty program for new riders where you can trade it in, which means they're expecting that you're going to outgrow your bike in a year. Because if you get on and ride and love what you're riding and love what you're doing when you're riding, you're gonna grow into a new bike for sure. You're gonna upgrade.
you know, we chose the Deadwood Green. I think that might have been the only one they had. They said they're selling fast.
Yes,
so
they said
one of the things about these 114 StreetBobs is they're selling fast.
Yes, they said they got 5 in. This is the only one that's left. Although personally, I love this Deadwood Green. It is my favorite new color.
Dude, I love that color. I think they did a great job on it.
I especially love it on the Road King special with it all blacked out. Oh my god, I think it looks so good, which is kind of what this one ends up being. Obviously a much smaller version, but I love the black and the Deadwood Green. I think it looks really nice. And these are just stock. They haven't done anything to them. In all honesty, they're so busy down here, they've been telling us that they can't even keep stock, so they don't have time to upgrade them and put, you know, pipes and things like that on it, exhaust and whatnot.
You know, Harley's done some things over this year. They changed their ECMs, so you know, you're having the 2021 model year came out a little bit later than usual, which I think was the plan. I think they wanted to start doing their model year releases with riding season. Right. You know, or more in line with riding season. So I think that was the plan, and if I'm not mistaken, that's the future plan, is to bring the bikes out sometime in January or February. But they made a change to the ECM, and I think that caught a lot of performance accessory manufacturers off guard. Right, so it's taking a little bit of time to catch up. And it's taking a little time to catch them up so that they can modify the bikes, tune the bikes, you know, add your stage 1, your stage 2, and on up. And any aftermarket, of course, companies playing catch up from there. Right. And again, I may be wrong, but that's what I kind of remember from conversations that I've had with dealers and what I've seen online and so on and so forth, is that the ECM did delay new performance upgrades for a couple of months after the bikes came out. You know, that said, I chose to ride the Roadglide special for a couple of reasons. One of them is like you mentioned, I am highly considering moving to the fixed fairing bike this year. I've been riding street glides, and I keep hearing from people talking about the fixed fairing and how it is in the wind, and just some different things about how light it is on the front end, and you can do different things with the handlebar setup and stuff like that on the fixed fairing that you can't do on the back wing. So I'm kind of excited to be on this bike. I'll tell you, I really am adjusting to the mechanical clutch. It's very different than the hydraulic clutch in its feel and in its release. They've actually got this one set up so it releases somewhat, or it grabs somewhat like the hydraulic clutch in about the same clutch range. So, you know, the nice thing is it's adjustable, it's more reliable, and the clutch pull on it feels just fine. It doesn't feel heavy at all. So from that point of view, it feels really good. The other thing I wanted to ride this bike for was because of the tank setup. I love the fact that they took the gas fill out of the console. Right. That allows you to put a nice flush mount gas cap on here and to do some, I'll tell you, one of the accessories that's going to come out this year that's going to be nice is there's going to be some really cool touring console, aftermarket touring consoles that come out. They're just going to be, because this just screams of personalization right here. Right. Right, which is what we love about our bikes, is making them our own. Wow, this is pretty. This is very pretty. So they gave us a route to drive today. They didn't send an escort with us. And it's a real pretty route, actually. But don't jump from the bridge. It's like the third sign. Must be a problem. So yeah, in the world of NOA performance, we're going through changes, I think, like every business out there. We're changing our business model, we're changing our goals, we're changing what we want to do and how we want to serve the community and our audience. As an update on the channel, you know, we've grown our audience pretty good. We still haven't hit 1,000, which is really kind of the first goal. But we're up above 95,000 views, and I consider that to be really exciting. Yeah, absolutely. So again, I'll remind you, subscribe,
like us and follow us on like the Instagram. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else. You can find us on TikTok now. That's a new thing that we're trying out, seeing how we like that platform. So you could look us up there as well. Okay, so yeah, so mid controls. I like them and I don't like them. I thought about changing out my Fat Bob for mid controls. I had considered changing in my Fat Bob for the Lowrider S, because I got my Fat Bob right out before they introduced the new Lowrider S. But the more I ride with the mids, as much as the way I have to stretch my legs out to be in forward controls, I'm not sure I like mids better. It's really a strange thing. I think you get used to riding your bike in this in the position it's in, and then you just go, okay, well now this is totally different. I have a hip thing, and so it kind of inflames, or it irritates that hip joint a little bit, and that's what I didn't like about the Lowrider S, is that it's even a higher mid position. So I don't know. If you like that, I think it works for some people totally. I watch a ton of videos and I watch them ride with mids, and I think, God, that looks so comfortable. I don't love this seat, although I will say that what they did this year with the StreetBob is add the little passenger pillion so that you can ride 2-up on this bike, which is cool. Obviously it's not like a great comfy pillion or anything, but you can throw somebody on the back, and that's awesome.
I like that divided solo seat and pillion look, though. That's a classic Harley bobber look.
Yes. Yeah, and it looks good, and I definitely would change out the rider seat, because I feel like I'm a little far back, or I'd have to, like we talked about, pull the bars back. But overall, not a bad riding motorcycle. I mean, it definitely has the power of the 114, which I love.
Well, it's putting the 114 in a much lighter bike than it's been in before, I think.
Right.
I can tell you, from this perspective, the riding position on that looks like your perfect riding position. Right.
And I think, like, overall for comfort, I can reach the ground, which I love that I have the right height, seat height and whatnot. I wouldn't have to do any lowering to the bike, which is always nice because it saves you money as far as suspension and things like that. So I can, my reach is great. The handlebar pullback would definitely have to increase, and of course, like stock grips and stock levers. Oh my gosh, my hand is so far away from the front brake. That's like the first thing I noticed, because I always kind of tilt mine up a little bit because I have small hands, girl hands and whatnot. So,
well, I think that's one thing people always miss about you, is your features, like your hand and your feet, are very petite.
Yes.
So you don't even have like long fingers or anything. I mean, you're kind of dainty and small through all your extremities.
Yes, my reach, I mean, I can only barely grab the front brake if I don't pull my hand completely up to get 2 fingers on that brake, just at the front. Like there's not much there.
We've come down here to Texas, and I have a feeling we're going to come down here quite a bit more. One of the things that has hit us based on our business model and what we want to do, and again, how we want to, the things that we want to put out there for an audience is, a lot of folks out there are being serviced by their local Harley Davidson dealership that isn't really a full functioning dealership. I feel an obligation to reward those dealerships that are investing in the complete operational.
I think we call it firing on all cylinders. Yes. I think that's how we've described it in the past. And I think it's just, it's those companies that are investing in their staff, investing in the technology to really give you what you want when you go in to upgrade your bike, whether it's taking it to 131 or even further. So, it's the techs in the back in service, that have the knowledge and the, you know, that can really give you what you want based on really how you ride and what you're going to do with your bike, and the sales force to find you the right bike. Again, are you are you a couple riding? Are you a single? They take the time to find out really what your bike is for. They don't just try and sell you to sell you a product. I mean, everybody wants, I won't say everybody, I think everybody wants a Harley, but that's not necessarily true. But, you know, not everybody can, you know, we talked about it yesterday, not everybody can afford to come in and drop money for a brand new Harley. So what they're doing here especially is trying to find used bikes at the right price points where anybody who really wants the bike can come in and afford to have the bike of their dreams. And I think that's awesome. And that, you know, we've got a few dealerships local to us that we've talked about in our neck of the woods, and we just don't feel they're getting it done. And so because of what we do for a living, we travel and we have just searched for the dealerships that we feel are getting it done and firing on all cylinders. And we definitely feel that the guys down here at Longhorn are doing it and doing it well. And you know what? They're a blast to be around. Kevin, their general manager here, is freaking awesome. We just love him. He's so much fun, and he loves what he does. And that, you know, that it's what to be in this business. You have got to love what you do.
Well, you know, and that's the thing is, a dealer that services and takes care of its people, those people take care of their customers. Right. And it all comes down, and you know, we've seen and heard too many stories and been a part of too many stories. And it's unfortunate. I guess, you know, sometimes I think that it's rather sad because I really want that relationship. Oh yeah. You know, I want to go into my local Harley store and I want to promote them and I want to push them. I want to be the guy. I want to be their influencer and their rah-rah guy. Right. You know, I want to, you know, do those things.
But they're just, you know, it's all about relationships, and that goes inside the dealership and outside the dealership. I think it translates all the way from the top.
Right. Well, and you know, you have Dallas has become mega Harley dealer territory. For sure. And for the most part, the mega Harley dealers are part of networks of several dealers. And many of them function pretty well, even though I'm not a big fan of those network type dealers, not a big fan of those conglomerates. They feel a little commercial. Yeah, they do. They feel a little corporate. They feel a little commercial. They feel less. I love Longhorn as the old school dealer with the old school principles, but with an eye on the future and an eye on what's happening. Yes. You know, all the new technology coming out. They're very current. They've got a great team in their service department. And to me, I'm going to root for that. I'm going to root for that locally owned, family owned dealership. Right. You know, when it's a fully functioning, you know, firing on all cylinders dealership, that's going to be the team that I'm going to pull, you know, my weight behind. Well, I'm thoroughly impressed with this Roadglide. Awesome. This is the longest ride I've taken on a Roadglide.
Yeah. No, it's beautiful too. That two-tone paint is actually really pretty. You know, the red is great. Red's not my style, I know. I'm more of the you know... Deadwood Green. Deadwood Green. You know, I really love that color. Yes. I really like the idea of denim or even just a black bike, you know? Yeah. No, I've come to really... you know, we've had some flashy colored bikes, and I love my scorched orange bikes, and we get a lot of compliments, and, you know, they get noticed. But I think that the vivid black is really... Jeep. Okay. It's really just a nice color. It's just, you know, it's just standard. It's okay. Then you just go and you add your little touches to it, and I think that's my next thing. But we are headed back to the dealership now. We, of course, want to thank them again because this was awesome. It was a great ride, so thanks for the suggestion, guys. And thank you so much for joining us. We always love to bring you along. We're down in Dallas a couple more days, just doing some fun and some business, and you know, like we do. Remember to like our video. If you've got some thoughts, comments, any feedback, we'd love to hear it. Leave it below. Remember to follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and that's about it, y'all. Peace.